Yeah, so Manette just had a coaching session with Quibus, and she just got back, so hello, Blanky. Mm. So as I was saying, Manette just had a session with Quibus, which I'm curious to hear about.
Yeah, I had quite an interesting session with Quibus. It just it highlights the importance of having a coach, because I think sometimes you have all these ideas and everything that's going on with the business, with the teams, with the clients, where we're going, all this stuff is just a lot of fluff. So sitting with Quibus, getting a bit more clarity, knowing what to focus on, brainstorming, having a soundboarding partner, it's so valuable. So
what stood out for you?
So we were going through some of the ideas that we had for the $1 million thing. One thing that we came across was selling someone else's products and services, especially from a time constraint perspective. He asked me questions like whose problem we can solve. He also mentioned something that going into the event space is such a natural place for us to go to because we're doing it. Is that a challenge? It's not a challenge.
Yeah, that's the thing that we spoke about as well. So it would still be a challenge to launch a brand new, because we're still going to carry on with our own workshops and stuff, and our own events and our customers' events. So I think it'll still be a challenge. I just think it kind of defeats parts of the thing to do events in the 0 to million space. Maybe we can do a different event, like getting a high profile speaker in, which is something we haven't done before. And there's a couple of other events that I've been thinking about that's not in line with what we're doing now. It's not part of our customer base or anything like that. So that would be a brand new event.
Yeah,
I totally agree with it. So it is a challenge. Is it part of this challenge? And I don't think so. Which just screws me up a bit, because that's what I've been thinking about for the last 4 days, which means 4 days, I wouldn't say wasted, 4 days we have to start off scratch to create a new idea. So I think we're on day 4, 5 or 6 or 7, I don't know, my days are blending into one. And now just starting off with a new idea.
With a new idea. And one thing that he also mentioned that made so much sense is that you don't necessarily have to sell your product. You can still do an event and everything that's in line with what you do, and sell someone else's product that they have to go and execute on. And also...
Quibus, was that a trick for us to sell your product? I'm just curious. Like, was that a leading question?
And they're also asking questions like, what type of events are we looking at? Is there any partnership options? Are we thinking about sponsorships, etc.? And then also he asked me a quite interesting question when it comes to deciding on the idea that we want to go with, is what would it take to actually execute on the idea what we decide, and just start breaking it down to see whether it's something we can execute, make it realistic. So we've been working through some of the numbers, and he gave me an example. If it's $1 million, how many products that cost 1,000 Rand do we have to sell? What if there's a product or a service that we can sell for 10,000 Rand, or what if there's something we can sell for 100,000 Rand? So it comes down to like connecting to hundreds of thousands of people, or do we want to connect to only 20?
Yeah, so that's something we have to go through. What I also think is going to happen is, as I mentioned this morning, I don't think it's going to be one thing, like selling 10 people 100,000 in products. It's not just going to be the one thing. I think there's going to be maybe 2 or 3 or 4 things that moves us up to that particular thing. So if we look at a normal customer journey, it moves from 1,000 to 100 to 10 to 1, etc. So as they move down, We're going to have to follow that same recipe. We're just going to have to fast track it somehow. Because a normal sales funnel will take 6 or 8 months or whatever to move down the funnel. We're going to have to fast track it in 90 days, which would be a interesting challenge.
So me and Cobus explored some of the options around that as well. And one of the things that came up during our session is, what if there's a completely new product that we can offer that is in line with everything that we do? And we have access to everyone that's in our network already, and property investment is one of them that did come out in the session. We have so many connections. You know property. It's also like a kind of a game for you where you go and hunt for these deals. And I think the market is right. If you get the right property and you present it to a couple of investors, basically it's not just going to be one deal. It can actually become a new company, maybe something like Van Properties or whatever, and then you can build a whole complete new business model out of that.
Interesting, the part that I've been thinking about it as well. So one of the things I actually wrote down is other means to make money from property. When you sell a property, buy or sell, it takes 3 months just for registration. You wait 2 months just to get your clearance figures. So in the timeline that we have, it's not going to register. So what other options do we have to make money from property? So that would be interesting. Definitely on our list, some form of property. Okay, cool. What else?
There isn't anything else that came up. Our time kind of finished. Yeah.
Good.
Very good. I feel re-energized. I feel I have more structure. Feels like I have time to go again. So we can have another late night if you're keen. I'm ready.
I just told the guys.
I was born ready.
Guys, I think tonight there's not going to be any 0 to million. We need one night to just chill out of it.
It's so funny because Cobus has a slogan that says whatever it takes, and now he added one to say with that also, what would it take, just to make your mind think a little bit. So I think we have the whatever it takes part.
Yeah, this is actually Cobus's band, so it's whatever it takes on it. So I think for today we need to just chill a bit and also just re-energize, because it's been 4 or 5 hour sleeping nights. And I've got kickboxing class again in next hour, so coming home at 8 o'clock and then diving back in.
And someone has to do the washing and wash the dishes and cook and clean, and normal stuff of life also goes on.
Yeah, so normal life also goes on, and well, I guess while I'm at kickboxing, you can do all the work. Guys, I think that's it for this episode. So cool session with Cobus. This morning we had a bit of a brainstorm. I also continued reaching out to contacts, so that was pretty cool. Still haven't found our idea yet. We're still on 0 money, no money in the bank yet. One of the things I even thought about is going to complexes and then washing their bins. So we get like a special spray. I just don't have money to buy the spray. So I'm going to have to borrow maybe from the cameraman behind the camera or camera lady. Borrow $100 to buy some cleaning detergent. But yeah, that can, I actually worked out the numbers. You can make a decent amount of money with that for short term. Just like a Kickstarter to get maybe $5,000 in, just so we have money to spend on kind of the next step, and then slowly build it up through that. That's also an option. The other option that I really like for a fundraiser is the gala dinner. Go through our list and invite a whole bunch of people for a gala dinner. So some of the guys reached out to me. They're busy this week, so over this weekend we're going to be spending quite some time. Set up about 4, 5 or 6 meetings for this weekend to also see what options is available. So to end it off, we're kind of back at square one or square zero, because we've got 0 rand. We also came up with a slogan: 0, I don't know which way around, one of these two, 0 to 1. So it's going to be like a logo. We're going to print some T-shirts.
Yeah,
I don't know. Did I tell you about it? Then it's that white hand sort of thing. So
yeah,
Wynand came up with. So I came up with the slogan or with the thing. I'm like 0 to 1 brew. And he's like, hey, that's a slogan. Let's do that into sort of a logo thing.
Yeah.
So we came up with a logo.
Yeah.
We've got the 0. We don't have a 2 yet or 1. So guys, we're still on 0. Back at square one. Rethinking ideas. Don't know if the workshop's going to do it, if the events are going to do it. We need to find a different way to differentiate it, where it's a brand new service or product, then we'll do the events. If it's part of our existing stuff, that's part of our existing business, which I set the rules, so I can kind of do what I want. I also want to play a fair game sort of thing to myself to really test myself. Otherwise, what's the point? The whole point why I'm doing this is to shift myself out of my comfort zone. Although making $1 million out of brand new event in 90 days would be a shift, I do think we can push it a little bit further than that. So let's brainstorm, see what we come up with, and then we'll see you on the next episode. Anything else?
No, that's it.
That's it.
I'm happy, chappy.
Okay. Guys, that's all for today. Peace out.